Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the law of attraction, manifesting success stories show comes in. If you are ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome to this episode. I am your host, Cassie Parks, and I am back with Kimberly for her third interview in her Years of Growth series. Welcome, Kimberly.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. And I get to ask you on this call, how has your future self been showing up?
She's been showing up inspired, trusting, and creative, and happy.
I love it. That's awesome.
I love that question.
So fun because you had not taken the Future Self Workshop 2 months ago. It's currently July 21st, 2020. And you took the Future Self Workshop about a month ago, give or take. Mm-hmm. So we also get to talk about that today. What was your biggest aha from that or takeaway from the experience?
So taking away, actually, I remember when I was reading my future self story to you at the end.
Yeah.
Actually, I cried because it felt like I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had felt that way. And I know we've talked about this before. I had read your book twice and did the work on my own by myself. I just knew that I wanted more, and working with you was the key to that. So taking the Future Self Workshop, I remember everybody would answer that question on the phone call. I'm like, I can't wait till I get to be asked that question. But I think the biggest takeaway was just knowing that I am becoming my future self.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of my assignments recently, I recognized that there's a lot of things that is my future self that I'm already experiencing now.
Yes, I love that assignment. That's the whole point of that assignment.
I had no idea. So,
yeah. How did that feel to be like, oh, there's already so much here?
It made it feel more like real, like possible, like becoming my future self. I think there was a part of me that felt, oh, that's 5 years from now. And then looking at it, I'm like, wow, there's already more than half of what I've been scripting is currently in my daily life.
Yes.
And it was just acknowledging it and just owning it, I think, was
absolutely
a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
because, and you could tell me, but most people think when they think their future self, they think it's completely new. Nothing's like it's 100% different. It's completely new. It's all this. But then when you tap into your future self and you start doing like that assignment, which was to kind of look at your current life and your future life, you realize, no, it's not all new. It's so much is already happening, which gives you more. I mean, it's the way the law of attraction, right? Like if that's already here, then all of that is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was a big aha. I'm like, wow. Like, and I know it's 5 years from now, but it's like, there's so much already here. So, it was just, like I'm happy every day, no matter what's going on. I find something to be happy about. I smile, I laugh. And that's definitely my future self. Even when, you get the little road bumps, I still find happiness every day. And I'm more present than I ever have been.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference.
Huge. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. How has your future self been showing up? Well, tell us the whole journal story and what parts kind of were your future self and how that's come along, because you have some amazing journals.
Oh, thank you. So it's funny. Ever since I was a little kid, I have loved pen and paper, like stationery.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing all these things that I thought would make me money, chasing the next big idea. And doing the workshop just really kind of honed in on what is it that I get excited about. And I get excited about journals. And everything just kind of fell into place. Like I don't remember all the details because it was just so easy and organic.
And inspired, right?
And inspired,
yeah.
Yes. So, and I remember talking about it, bringing it up on a call, and then again, things just kind of inspired action, and I've created these journals, and then these other creative ideas, I get inspired. And then just recently, I couldn't not go in my garage to create. Like I had to go. Like it didn't matter what was going on in my life that day. Like I just dropped it all and I went to the garage, and I was out there until 4:30 in the morning. And I haven't done that in a really long time. My kids are like, Mom, how late were you up? I'm like, I know, 4:30. And they're like, that's really late for you. I'm like, I know, but I couldn't put down what I was working on. And what was amazing about that is that when I was out there, I was smart. Like I knew what I was doing, and I had never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. And everything I touched was just magic, just completely magical.
Yes.
So it was so much fun.
I love it. Your future self coming in being like, oh, you know how to do this. Here you go.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. She's smart. She knows what she's doing.
Right? I love it. That's amazing. And now you have unique new products that you're selling and personalizing and adding. I love that you add like stones, and there's like a personal touch of that. And so there's that type of energy. And are you like in a way creating what you've always wanted? Does that make sense? I don't know if that's not the right exact
I just
question.
Got goosebumps. So I'm going to say yes.
Yay!
So it's so interesting because I love to create, and I love combining elements.
Yeah.
I never knew how to do it. And so
Right.
when you said that my future self came in and she's smart and she knows how to do all this stuff, that's exactly what happened, because I am creating and playing with all the different elements that I love.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm like, wow. So it just all came together. I wasn't forcing it, which is so interesting. I think in the past, trying to make something happen that doesn't feel good.
Right.
Being inspired feels so much better.
Right.
And I finally have that connection. I kept saying, Cassie, what's, how am I going to know I'm inspired? How am I going to know I have to do something? And now I know what that feels like. That day I had to go in the garage. Like it was almost like, I don't say a rope, like I was like lassoed.
Yeah.
I was lassoed and pulled into the garage and I couldn't leave. And it was just, that's where I had to be that day.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And that is such a good way to talk about inspiration, because you don't know it until you know it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yes. I kept wanting guidance, and I kept wanting an answer. I'm like, well, what does it feel like? How will I know? And you don't know until you know.
Right?
And now I know, and it's amazing.
Yes. And it's so awesome. And I will say there was a process of coming and being like, is this it? Is this it? I think I want to do this. And really like, cause there is a fine tune, like there's no step by step, like do this to get to inspiration. But there is a like, okay, this feels better. Yeah, go do that. Oh, but it doesn't feel good. Okay, stop doing that. There is really this fine tuning that lets the whoosh of energy and then add in your future self and that magic and all of that, like lets that really come in.
Well, and that makes sense because I picked up a few little side gigs.
Yes.
And I'm excited about them and I enjoy them, but I recognize now that that's not what my future self does. I mean, I still want the product itself.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go be like, some director of this new product line,
Right.
I'm just going to have fun with it and see what it goes. And I'm going to enjoy the money that comes in while I'm doing it, but that's not what I'm inspired or excited about.
Right. And I think go ahead.
I had to try it to know it.
Well, I don't even know that you had to try it. I think it was a gift from your future self and being aligned with money and a practice of this is really easy money and I like doing this, right? Like, oh, this feels, because it was like, oh, I just wanted product. And that she said, do you want to sell it? And I think you even said no at first. And then you were like, well, actually that sounds fun. And then it was really easy. right? Everything was easy. Even, I
Yeah.
loved this when you were selling to strangers at the pool. Will
Oh.
you tell that story?
Yes. So, which was totally outside my comfort zone. I went to visit my sister, who just had a baby.
Yay.
Yeah, Briggs Oliver is here. And we were at the pool. My nieces were swimming, and there was a lady that walked by, and I noticed that she had glitter on her nails. And I love glitter. And I said, "Oh, can I see your nails?" And she showed them to me. She's like, "I need a fill." And I'm like, "You know what? I have a product that would look great on these." And she's like, "Really?" And so I told her what the product was. And she's like, "Well, do you have any with you?" And I'm like, "As a matter of fact, I do." I went upstairs to my sister's room and grabbed all my stuff, brought it down, and put a sample on her nail. And it actually gave her, like, you couldn't tell she needed a fill anymore. And
Awesome.
so she's like, "These are amazing." So, and they bought some right then and there from my personal inventory. And so I'm like, I'm visiting my sister and I'm selling products
Right?
at the pool, which was just so bizarre. But it was
Right?
fun and it was easy.
Yes. Fun, easy, and making money living your life, which is totally what your future self does, right? She's making
Yes.
money doing what she loves, whether that's being creative or hanging out by the pool isn't a script, right?
Yes.
And so it's just such good. I love, because our future self, I see it all the time, gives us these opportunities to practice that. Even if this isn't the long-term thing, when we start to say yes to what feels good, and we know when to say like, oh, it doesn't feel good anymore. We get these gifts of our future self of like, okay, here's how some money right now while you're mining this inspiration, or it's building over here, right? Like, here's some
Right.
money. This is easy. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
a Cash App. I mean, she sent it from her phone to my phone and I had it within seconds.
That's
So
awesome.
it was so fun. And that is one of the things that I've really recognized is that because that's in my script, is that I'm getting paid while I'm out enjoying life. Like I'm making money while I'm out having fun. So that definitely is just icing on the cake, I guess.
Yeah. Which is so awesome. I love it. And so let's talk a little bit, because I believe we shared in the last one, like you had closed your studio, and we talked a little bit about how like the studio was sort of like, oh, I can justify being creative if I turn it into this business. And the studio is, or your business is making money even without a brick and mortar.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you can tell us if it's easier and more fun.
It is easier and it's more fun. I love waking up or being, doing something else and hearing that cha-ching on my phone.
Yes.
Because I got a sale. And so then I'm like, ooh, I wonder what glitter sold today.
Right?
Yeah. So it's
That's
fun.
awesome. That is so fun. I love that. And speaking of money, I feel like you have it everywhere. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So, and I don't remember what my total was at the last one, but do you remember? But I'll share my new total with you.
Yeah, share it.
So, and I was like, ooh, I really wanted 75,000. I'm just shy of it. $74,975.72.
Yay!
And how many months is that? So I officially joined the Enchanted Circle. Was it February or March? I remember I did my 10 days.
So you did your first interview in February 11th, and I think you did. So it was early February. I think it was like the 1st of February.
So 6 months.
Yeah.
So that is, and we were just talking about this before we started, but that's almost double when I worked a full-time job.
Right.
With really long hours.
Yes.
In 6 months. So that's not even, that's double for what I would make
in half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love doing the math now.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Tell us about that.
So it's kind of a game for me, but one of my goals was to have $2,000 in a savings account. And so I was sharing with you before the call that I have $2,000 in my savings, and it's been sitting there for about 3 months. And I just look at the number And then I have another savings account where I was putting money in jars, like coins and dollars and this, that, and the other, for my Manifest 10K list. And that account has like $305. And then I have a Change It Up account where my credit union will actually, when you use your card as like a credit card, it rounds up. So if I spent $10.50, it puts 50 cents into this account and you earn a higher interest rate on it.
Amazing.
And that has $255 in it. And then I started a new game where I didn't want my checking account to go below $2,000. So it is sitting at $2,606 and some change. And then I have one more place where I have money. So I take these healthy products, and you sign people up, you get paid or whatever. And so I make about $54 a month, and they gave me a credit card. And so I just put that $54 on that card, and it's sitting at $272 and some change. So I literally have money everywhere.
Everywhere. Yes.
Yeah. And it's so fun because I get on there and I'm like, ooh, look, this one has grown. Because the Change It Up is always fun because it always grows every night whenever I use my card. And then I've been thinking about, okay, so what I think I want to make my savings $3,000.
Yes.
So then I've been looking at the numbers and saying, okay, well, how much do I want to put in there, this time? And so it's just been fun looking at the numbers and seeing all the money that I have.
Yes.
And all the money that I manifested.
Right.
So, yeah.
I love that. How would you say you feel about money now?
Oh, I love money. And I have I have a better relationship with money. Like we're friends now.
Yes.
So it loves me. It loves to, I find money everywhere I go. I love finding pennies. I still love finding pennies. That exercise. I was just explaining on a call the other night that even in movies, I watch for money. And I forgot to mention that the check or the money that was transferred in this movie was $4 million.
Amazing.
Yes. But what caught my attention the most was the penny. And there was 2 penny scenes. And I just remembered that. And I was so excited. I even clapped. I'm like, yay, a penny. And it wasn't like a physical penny. But yeah, I get so excited. And my boys think I'm crazy. And even when I'm out in public, I like scream.
I love
find
it.
A penny. People just look at me. I'm like, it's a penny. It's my lucky day.
Yay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Very cool. Any advice, things in your heart, anything you want to share as we wrap up today?
Oh gosh. Yes, I think, and this is probably really personal for me, yet, show up and do the work, even when you don't feel like doing it. So, I find happiness every single day. And I know that showing up and doing the work makes that easier for me to do when there's those little speed bumps that come up.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I always say, read Manifest 10K and join the Enchanted Circle and work with Cassie. She's magical.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing this moment in your magical journey with us, because you two are so magic and it just keeps getting stronger and stronger. And I see it, and it's so cool to watch. It's like watch your wand get stronger. It's awesome.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to have to write that down. Yes, my magical wand.
Yes. I love it. Well, thank you, Kimberly. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to come back next time. You're welcome. And check out what's awesome in Kimberly's life.
I love helping people manifest money, because when you're learning to use the law of attraction, money is such a great tool. It gives such instant feedback. There's so many opportunities to see how the energy is flowing through you and where you might be getting tripped up or not allowing it to come in. So if you've had trouble manifesting in the past, you might want to use money as a way to learn how to use the law of attraction. Now, I have helped thousands of people manifest millions of dollars using my system Manifest 10K. And now I would love to invite you to join me complimentary and pay based on your success. You heard me right. You can join, get access to my very successful program, the Enchanted Circle, and most of all, my coaching for when you get stuck. And then you can pay me 10% of what you manifest after you're successful. If this sounds good to you, go to payafteryoumanifest.com to apply. That's payafteryoumanifest.com.
Thank you for joining us on the Law of Attraction, Manifesting Success Stories show. To learn how to identify your current money story, go to identifyyourmoneystory.com.